It irritates me because every time the movie comes on, I'm like, really? Hi Dawnies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I ask you to please subscribe because you're helping this disabled by watching my fables so I don't have to beg you. So you see that title? Yes, my dad was in a Francis Ford Coppola film. Not only was he in the film, well, we'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, I didn't find out about this until my early 30s, and I'm trying to figure out why am I just now finding out about this? Parents, why would you keep this from me? Anyway, my mom's favorite thing to do after spending all day with my grandma was to relax in front of the TV. Usually in the den, because the den had the big TV and it was like kind of like a movie theater. So she was always watching movies and I'd be in my room minding my own self business. Anyway, one day she called me into the den and she's like, come sit down, watch this movie with me. And from what I could see of the movie, I was like, this movie is boring. It's long and drawn out. And then next thing out of her mouth, your dad's in this movie. And I'm like, my dad's in a movie? Why are you just now telling me my dad was in a movie? I mean, my mom has been in extras in movies and stuff, but this particular movie was more than my dad just being an extra in the movie. So like I said, he was more than just being an extra in the movie. He basically was playing the drums throughout the whole movie. And he has a small scene in the movie. And so, like I said, I watched the movie. It was kind of slow. I think it was about espionage and what do you call it? Eavesdropping. Or ear hustling. I think that's why I got confused. The proper word is eavesdropping. And like I said, the movie was kind of boring to me until the drums came in and started picking up a little faster and a little faster and a little faster. And then I see my dad's head in the background. I'm like, oh, there he is. So there's a scene in the movie where the two stars are talking, and I guess they're in a park scene. And this must have been in San Francisco, somewhere in San Francisco or somewhere in the Bay Area. Because at the time, that's where my parents were living. And it's just so funny seeing his head just bobbing along. I believe he was playing the congos because that was his claim to fame, playing the congos. And at that time, he went by a different name. So I can't really prove that's my daddy, except I look just like him, so that's my daddy. But then I got to thinking, if my dad was in the movie and he played most of the drums throughout the movie, why we don't have any residual income? Where's the royalties from this movie? How are you throughout the whole movie playing the drums, but there's no money to show for it? I'm confused. And this movie at the time seemed to come on like at least 6 months out of the year, every year. So yeah, there should be some residual income. I don't get it. Where's the money? So I took it upon myself to ask my dad. I found out, Dad, that you were in a movie. You played the drums throughout the movie. And my mom said that you wrote the score to the whole movie. So why aren't there any royalties or any residual income? See, my poor dad. He's always into these get-rich-quick schemes. So even back then, you would think he had learned his lesson. But basically what he told me is that he and his musician partners needed the money, and the producers told them, well, if you want the money, you need to sign this document so you can get paid. And basically my dad and his musician partners sold their rights to getting residual income. And when you go into IMDb, there's no mention of my dad. It says some other man wrote the score. See, quick money isn't good money. Sometimes it's good to let it stretch out. I mean, maybe because I had just first come into the picture, maybe he needed the money right away. I don't know. But it irritates me because every time the movie comes on, I'm like, really? We could have at least been getting $1 by now. And I'm sure you guys are like, what movie? And here she go again, wait until the last minute to say what the movie is. But that's how I grab you, to keep you in the movie. I mean, I could have made this 30-second video, but YouTube wouldn't like that. So anyway, I'm sure you're asking, what movie by Francis Ford Coppola? Bear with me. I'm gonna have to wrap this up because that means it's time for me to take a break and pray. But anyway, I'm sure you're asking what Francis Ford Coppola movie that my dad was in, played the drums in, and wrote the score to. Well, the name of the movie, I think it was a 1971 movie, because like I said, I was born in 71, so maybe he needed the money for me, I don't know. But the name of the movie is called The Conversation, and it's about this guy eavesdropping on people. And, well, I don't want to tell you more, but if you have the patience enough to watch the whole movie, there is a scene where you will see my dad bobbing his head, and it hurts my neck because I got neck problems. I shouldn't do that. And so I also say that the movie that starred Will Smith, the Enemy of the State, I always used to say that was a continuation to The Conversation. If you watch those two movies together, you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, and the Conversation stars Gene Hackman, who was also in Enemy of the State. So like I said, watch one movie, 15 years later, watch the next one 15 years later. No, 30 years later, watch the next movie, and you just put it together and you see what I'm talking about. Well, Dawnies, remember to toast to life, because it always makes for a great story. Check out The Conversation and look for my daddy. Please like and share this video. Don't forget the other content on the channel. Like and subscribe and hit the bell, and I will see you next week. Bye.